So as we showed in the last video, we had a problem on this side of the engine, on the right side of the engine, which as you're looking at from the rear end of the bus, it appears to be the left, but you identify the engine side from the flywheel side, so, but not to confuse you. But as we went through, the pistons, 2 of the liners were cracked, all the pistons were scored and galded, the liners, everything was just in very, very bad shape. And having the 2 cracked liners, that's all a sign of overheat. Everything overheated. We were trying to figure out what's going on. For him, nothing, since he's owned the bus for several years, he's never had an overheat warning come on or anything like that. And we were just concerned about what was going on. And so we got into it here. We looked at this side of the engine, and then we're going to take a look now at the other side of the engine. But all of these were damaged. This video is sponsored by Harry's. Because when you shave, you want your face to be as smooth as a baby's butt, not smell like one. This 5-blade razor is super sharp. Harry's has their own factory in Germany to ensure the high quality products at factory direct prices. They also stand behind their blades so much that they have a 100% money back guarantee. Affordable prices, you can get new blades shipped to you as low as $2 per refill. Harry's shave gel with aloe is very smooth and creamy. Harry's offers a smooth, comfortable shave. Redeem your trial set today for just $3 when you go to harrys.com/busgreasemonkey. You'll get this 5-blade razor. Comes with a weighted handle, the blade cover, and the foaming shave gel. All for just $3. Harry's is a personal care brand that delivers a close, comfortable shave at a fair price, as low as $2 per refill. Harry's supports great causes as they give 1% of their global sales to nonprofit organizations that provide mental health care for those in need. Man, as we're getting in here, this left side of the engine, the pistons look absolutely perfect. There's no scoring, there's no marks, they're just a pristine condition. The rings look great, everything looks amazing on the left side of the engine. It looks nothing like the other side of the engine where every single one of them were screwed up. The other side of the engine got hot, this side of the engine didn't get hot. Crazy. What should we include, Jerry?
In this special video, we'll include some of Tyler's favorite words. I'm sure you're familiar with them. You'll hear a lot of beep and beep and beep and Wanderlodge and beep and beep and beep. Detroit Diesel, beep, beep and beep. That hurts, beep.
What else did they miss? The sound of a wrench falling and hitting me in the face.
Yeah, all the bloopers. You gotta be smarter than the tool. And I quote, I can't just leave my mouth open. Shit just fell in my throat, all the way to my tonsils.
It did too. Bounced right off my tonsil. Big old clump of nastiness.
These are the happy moments that most people miss on video. And you can have them all for free.
Okay, so we can see that by the color of that gasket that inspection cover was not leaking. But this one here, it's all black and wet looking. It definitely was leaking. Those were super loose. I got them with my pinky. That's how easy they came out. So he was probably losing a little bit of airbox pressure because of that as well. But again, all these pistons so far look great. Nice cross hatching in all of the cylinders on this side of the engine. I'm wondering if this side of the engine runs cooler because the other side has the exhaust over there, the radiator, all that kind of stuff that has extra heat. And this side has a lot more free-flowing airflow. So I'm wondering if just naturally a Wanderlodge, the other side of the engine runs a few degrees warmer than this side. Curious. That is a always hot wire on the starter there, that the shielding is completely gone. That is a 12-volt terminal lug on the starter, so it's not like it's a ground or something, and that thing is just gone. Okay, this will be the hard one now. Let's see. Okay, turn it over, please.
I'm gonna get it. I can get it. Yeah, that's right. So. Careful, don't hurt yourself. Or the wire.
Piston looks nice. Tiny bit more oil than I would have liked to have seen, but again, this is directly across from the one that was spewing oil everywhere. And stop there.
Okay.
Nope, keep going. Sorry, I couldn't see what I was looking at. A little bit more. Hold it right there.
I got it.
Here's a pretty good theory on why this side of the motor overheated, is that this thermostat is not together correctly. That would, when it contracts in, would not open it all the way. So this bank on the engine is overheated, and the other bank in the engine, the pistons all look absolutely perfect. So finding something like this would lean towards that theory of why one side of the engine got hot and one side of the engine did not. I think that's a good find. So you can tell here how much it was opening and closing on one side, and then it gets skinnier on the other side as you go uphill. So half of it wasn't opening as much, which is a good, 20 to 30% maybe less flow through there, and that very well would have caused what we're talking about. It's also a bunch of scrape marks on there because it wasn't going in straight up and down. I can also see corrosion marks on there, on the spring, that show that it hasn't been hooked up. This side has not been on there. Get a better shot. Maybe on your big 4K TV you can see it, but it's been off for a long time. And this side wasn't able to cool as much, and when it got up to the high temperature on the high end of things, it just couldn't cool enough on that one side. But you can see, I mean, this is much larger opening here than it is over here. It just wasn't opening all the way. It's a good find. Unfortunate, but it lets you know there's not another problem with the engine. It was just this one side got hot, which is exactly what we saw. Here you can see how much more this thermostat was opening and closing than that thermostat. Big, big difference. Think about how much water flow can go through there. Okay, so I'm gonna get in here and clean this head real good. And then I'm gonna dye test it for cracks. Make sure there's no cracks, especially over on this side over here. But since we had really good compression, I don't think it's gonna be cracked, but it got hot, so you never know. So we got a dye penetrant test that we're gonna put on it. It does pretty good. Okay, I got things cleaned up pretty good here. And as I come in real close, there's no sign of any crack in the head. They usually crack right between the skinny part right there and right there. Coming over to the next cylinder. Still got some cleaning to do. Everything looks real good though. So I had noticed that on the block, the little nut there that holds the cam bearings in was really high, and I can see where it's been wearing into the actual head surface here. And even this one's got a little bit of wear from it too. So we're doing our crack test here. I first sprayed some cleaner on there, cleaner remover, and then you spray the penetrant on. And then once the penetrant's on, let it sit for a little bit and then wipe off the excess. And then you spray the develop rock. And if there's any cracks, they will stand out like a sore thumb. Should have wiped in those valve guides a little bit better. I'll do it one more time, but it's water soluble and it just wipes right off. But the good news is I don't see it. Like if there was a crack here, you would see like a line like that. Let's clean it all up. Get in there real good next time. It looks good. All right, so what are we gonna do with this Wanderlodge? We're obviously tearing down and rebuilding the engine on it, but we are only going to rebuild half of the engine. The other half is in pristine condition. There is no benefit to it for us to go through and rebuild that. It's got like 120 some thousand miles on it. That's it. So it's a very, very young motor. And unfortunately, one bank got overheated, but the other side did not. It's fine. For anybody who says, why aren't you just rebuilding the whole thing? It's about another $12,000 to $15,000. And if you're the one who wants to throw $12,000 to $15,000 away, go right ahead. But in this case, he doesn't need to. It's just a waste of money for him to do that. So we are going to rebuild the left side of the engine, the right side of the engine, and be done with it for now. That should get him for, you know, another couple 100,000 miles with that, and have less than half of the bill from doing the whole thing. So that's my recommendation to him, that one side is hot and ruined, the other side looks beautiful. There's no reason for us to touch it. And you know, it's his checkbook, not somebody else's. So that's what we're going to do. And that's what I recommend. And that's what we're going to do. After having more trespassers down by our rock, on our cameras the other night, we caught a full-on naked guy standing in his pickup truck fondling himself. And we decided it's time to put up a fence and actual gates at the property. Just getting our new gates. We had another incident at the property with trespassers that I didn't like. So we're going to put gates up. All right, so we have 28 foot of gate now with barbed wire. Continued the fence line down. Hopefully we'll be able to keep the trespassers out now. Going to add a couple more no trespassing signs actually to the gate, even though they're all over the place.